Chuck Schumer just got humiliated by MS Now host after they confronted him over the polling that shows 71% of Democrats support voter ID. Yes, we're still talking about this. It's common sense, I know. But for whatever reason, Schumer continues to double down on the idea that this is Jim Crow laws 2.0 and that it's racist for people of color. Is it really? Well, we'll answer that in this video. But first, like this video, share this video. Please leave a comment down below and what your thoughts are. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Here's what he had to say.
There's a new Pew Research poll that 95% of Republicans, but also 71% of Democrats like this idea. So why do you not?
It's Jim Crow 2.0, and I called it Jim Crow 2.0, and the right wing went nuts all over the internet. That's because they know it's true. What they're trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting. For instance, if you change, you're a woman who got married and changed your last name, you won't be able to show ID and you'll be discriminated against. If you can't find a birth certificate or a proper ID, you'll be discriminated against. This is vicious and nasty. And I said to our Republican colleagues, it will not pass the Senate. You will not get a single Democratic vote in the Senate. We're not reviving Jim Crow all over the country. And when the American people hear what exactly it is doing and what its intent is doing, they're going to be against it as well.
Okay, well, let's just look at the numbers. I mean, MSDNC put it on the screen for him, which contradicts everything he was saying. So what you mean to say, Chuck Schumer, is that 71% of your voters believe in Jim Crow laws. Make that make sense. He says if we pass this, we're implementing Jim Crow laws 2.0. Then why does 71% of Democrats support it exactly? See, all you have to do is use their logic. It's just so interesting when we do that. Now, according to Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who's really been the driving force behind this recently, she says Jim Crow explicitly targeted minorities. Voter ID does not discriminate. It's for everyone. Comparing the two is low IQ, and implying minorities don't have ID is the part that's actually racist. Now, a good faith debate would be in regards to people who may be disabled, who can't physically, get up and go down to the DMV. That would be a more of a good faith debate and something that could be worked out with the correct processes. But the masses out there, the Joe Schmo walking down the street who has both legs and has a 9-to-5 can absolutely get an ID. Now let's hear Representative Tim Burchett on this. Here's what he just had to say.
There's a lot of bad actors out there. I trust what the president's saying. I know what he's saying. He wants to put good barriers in. An attorney told me one time, good fences make good neighbors. And I think we need some good fences in our election laws in this country.
Good fences make good neighbors. Listen, I mean, this is the part of our society that has continued to fail us. And what I mean by that is the suicidal empathy. And because people are so compassionate and they have this misplaced guilt, they think they can throw out discipline and order out the window. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like gentle parenting. If you're a parent out there, you know that doesn't work, but that's exactly what Democrats are doing, right? They're using the concept of gentle parenting to do gentle governing. But the problem with that in particular is that it's inherently racist. Okay, that's my opinion on the matter. But let's go to the president just an hour ago at the National Prayer Breakfast.
We have some here today, and I don't know why they're here, because they certainly don't give us their vote. I certainly know that we're not going to be convincing them to vote for a little thing called voter ID. It polls at 97%. And even the the voters are at 82% for voter ID, but the leaders don't want to approve it. They said they will strike. They will not allow it to happen.
There is some truth to what he is saying. And you guys put it in the comment section. Why do you truly believe Democrats are aggressively, and when I say Democrats, their leaders, their representatives, why are they so hell-bent on not passing voter ID? Now, you'd be shocked to know that Republican states already have voter ID. If you think about it, it's the blue states that refuse to. For an example, California. When I lived in California, if you asked someone for an ID, they almost passed out because it's against the law to ask someone for their ID when voting. So how do you know someone is a citizen? And how do you know they are who they say they are? If you don't have to show ID, if you have a person's name and their address, you are good to go. That's all that they ask for. And then they say, hey, is this information correct? And then you do your thing in the ballot box. It's interesting. I don't understand why Chuck Schumer is doing this. Okay, let's bolster my point even more. Here is Joe Biden doing exactly what I just said, showing his ID.
How you doing? Thank you. Thank you.
Her first vote.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Your first name?
I'm Natalie.
Natalie Biden, now voting. You look better in person.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. Joe Biden showed his ID. Barack Obama showed his ID. Natalie Biden showed her ID. So what's the problem with people showing their ID? I mean, here's the other thing. They can pass this law federally, but the states are still going to have to come up with their own ways on how they will implement it. And then let's go back to the disabled or even veterans. Listen, if you have a valid CAT card, common access card, which is your military ID, that's all you need. You don't need a driver's license. You are good to go. Okay. But the SAVE Act goes one step further and makes sure that even if someone was served in the military, but let's say they weren't a citizen, let's say they had a visa, should they still be able to vote in our elections? The answer is no. So that's why the SAVE Act should be passed. If you're not a citizen of this country, you should not be able to vote in our elections. Here's another thing. If you have a felony, right, and even if you're serving in prison, do they allow you to vote in our elections? No. Aren't those people being disenfranchised? So again, if we follow their logic, it doesn't make any sense. Now, let's go to this perspective on Fox News, because it kind of speaks to what I've been saying about what the pushback is here.
I want to put this poll up on the board if I can. This is Fox News polling. It's September 2025. Should photo ID be required to prove U.S. citizenship before voting? 84%. That's a big number, Leslie. 84% say yes. That is a huge number. So you've got the vast majority of Americans think this has nothing to do with Jim Crow 2.0.
Well, I don't go by the polls, neither does the president. Hello, the Epstein files. But let's talk about what a photo ID to prove citizenship is about. Because if you can't get a real ID, you need to have a passport to prove you're a citizen, which costs currently $165. The people that are being disenfranchised are some of the most vulnerable in our society among our voting population: disabled, veterans, elderly are just three examples. Currently, there are 36 states in the United States out of 50 that have some type of voter ID already in place. 1, 2, you're talking about 14 states that are largely blue states. I don't know what Republicans think they're going to gain by that. And then, of course, you have to look at, even the speaker himself says with the SAVE Act, it's not about voter ID. It's about, that's a separate issue from spending, which is what Representative Luna and other Republicans want to make this a part of. So it's not just about who it disenfranchises. It's about, should this be grouped in with this bill? And there are even Republicans saying that it shouldn't, alongside Democrats.
Okay, so here's a good question for you. Are you worried about those upcoming credit card bills after the holidays? Well, this is why you got to call my friends at American Financing, because there's no better time to wipe out that debt, eliminate the stress, and set yourself up for a strong financial 2026. Did you know that the Fed dropped rates in December? This is the fourth time that they did so. So that means American Financing could help you get an interest rate in the low fives. And I'm talking to the homeowners out there. They can show you how to take the equity out of your home and use that to pay down debt. Now, compare the 5% interest rate to the 20% or more interest rate on your credit cards. I don't think it's really a comparison. Now, American Financing, if you're looking for the results, they've saved people at least $800 a month. I mean, that adds up to about $10,000 in a year. I think that's a big difference if you ask me. And you could talk to them. It's no obligation. Doesn't cost you anything to sign up or any of that. But the point is, they're going to educate you. So call them, 1-866-890-9392. Again, that number is 1-866-890-9392. Or you could go to the link in the description below, americanfinancing.net/divorce. Now, one of the particular statements that is against voter ID is that it deprives many voters of their right to vote. See, right there is the flawed premise. The right to vote. The right to vote. No, it's a privilege to vote. Most Americans don't vote in our elections. I hope everybody understands that. Okay. So it's not a right, it's a privilege. Reduce participation and stand in direct opposition to countries' trend of including more Americans in the democratic process. See, it's one thing to make it easy to participate, it's another thing to try to force it. Many Americans do not have one of the forms of government issued photo identification that state laws list as acceptable for voting. So why not make it free for them to get an ID? If you're so hell bent on making it easy for people to vote in our elections, then make an ID free. A photo ID, confirm address. It should be the same ID that you could use to get onto airplanes, the real ID. Make it free. Don't charge people for it. And the only way you could get this ID is you have to prove you are a citizen, not a visa that's in good status. Okay, not TPS. No, you are an official citizen of this country, either naturalized or you were born here. These voters are disproportionately low income, racial, and ethnic minorities, that elderly and people with disabilities. Such voters more frequently cannot afford or cannot obtain the underlying documents that are a prerequisite to obtaining government issue photo ID. So if they're unable to obtain the documents, let alone the ID, how are they living in the home that they're living in? If these people are low income, that must mean they're probably on Section 8. They had to have ID for that, correct? I mean, they have some level of health insurance. They had to have an ID for that, correct? So again, this is such a flawed talking point when people push back on this stuff. It's a privilege, not a right. So you guys let me know what you think about what happened to Chuck Schumer there on MSDNC and how 71% of Democrats support voter ID, but he claims it's a racist law. I wonder if he's going to have to speak with his constituents about that and square that. But you guys give me your reaction and all of your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, in our next story, the president sat down for an interview with NBC, and he made a stunning admission about Alex Preddy and Renee Good that I think is going to leave you shocked. So if you guys are interested in that story and more, all you have to do is click on that video because it's coming up right now.